What's up, everyone? So, welcome to Jupiter Through Signs, and today we're going to be starting a series, Jupiter Through Zodiac Signs in Astrology. So, Jupiter in the sign of Aries. What happens when Jupiter is in the sign of Aries? And before I even get started, I have to tell you, I have to make several videos this weekend actually. Maybe perhaps starting tomorrow, I have to make a video on numerology as to when, because I've been flooded, man. I've been flooded. If you watch my numerology videos and just count the comments, I have had emails and comments saying I always see 333 on my clock or on a TV. I see the number 11. I need to see the number 911. I see the number 1111. I see the number 22 all the time. What does it mean and does it have any significance? Actually, it does have significance and it does mean something. And I am going to kind of explain that and try to explain that as to the purpose of you seeing those numbers. Now, if you see these numbers like just once in a while, like once a year, that's just coincidence. But I'm talking repetitively, like 3 times a week, and you're seeing that. Okay, so we'll discuss that. I have to make a video on alien hybrids because I went to a conference yesterday held near my area about why alien abductions do have a meaning, because they're trying to inbreed and keep their species alive because their species is dying. The Greys and the Anunnakis, Unkims, reptilians, and how the reason why they are actually abducting people is because they inbreed and they're trying to save their race by carrying them on through human genes. So that video has to be done. I have to do a video on fans Q&A. 2 of them I'm going to do in the same video. So it's several good stuff coming along this weekend for you guys. So Jupiter into the sign of Aries. What is the sign of Aries? Sign of Aries represents going straight forward, headstrong into something. It's about action. It's about using your physical body. It's about using your physical body to do physical things. It's a very aggressive sign. It's one of the most aggressive and malefic signs in the zodiac belt. It's not very soft sign. These are very go like take action kind of people, like go to people. Okay. And Aries represents youthfulness, meaning that somebody who's just immature, just not really, is out there doing things. He's just not really concerned about the things that older people worry about. It's not a bad thing saying they're youthful. It's just they're very active. It's a very active sign. It's ruled by Mars, and it's Aries is the very first sign of the zodiac, so it represents the first house. And it carries the energy of the first house wherever it goes. It represents individualism. It represents your physical body. Okay. So you put Mars here. I mean, not Mars, Jupiter here. Jupiter is what? Jupiter is wisdom. Jupiter is knowledge, your actual true intelligence. Jupiter is being optimistic. It's optimism. Jupiter is known as the Ganga Jal, as in the water of Ganges. It's holy water in the horoscope. Now, it can be damaged, and that holy water will have less effect, but it'll always be a holy water. Jupiter represents, it's a significator of your children. It's a significator of your luck. It's a significator of your incoming gains. Even though Saturn will control most of it, but Jupiter is also there. Okay, so Jupiter holds a very large importance, and it's the largest planet out there in the solar system, after Sun. So when Jupiter comes to the sign of Aries, they become the best way I can describe it is a coach. Somebody who goes out and becomes aggressive towards his athletes, saying, you can do it. You can do it. Not from Waterboy, but the actual coaches who push you and keep pushing you to do better. These are the gurus who are out there to motivate other people and to motivate themselves for physical activities. This can represent an athlete, okay, because an athlete will self-motivate himself to become the best out there. So you can see athletes, runners, any kind of a motivational speaker. Like when these guys speak, they have this really aggressive preaching quality about them. Because Jupiter is also a significator of the second house, your speaking ability. So although Mercury represents your speech and how you speak, Jupiter also controls your vocal cords. It controls your intake of food. It controls how you speak, not what you speak, how you speak. So Jupiter's preaching. This becomes a very self-motivated, self-indulged preaching person. They will go out there headstrong to benefit themselves. So in a way, it also has a negative quality to them. That when they go out and they start preaching other people to do this, this, then this, it's actually for their own benefit they want to do it. When a coach goes out with Jupiter in the sign of Aries, and he goes out and tries to motivate others because that's his nature as preacher, that he will go out and say, no, you can do it, go and give me 10 laps. If you cannot do it, I'm going to make you do 20 laps. That motivation is for him to win the game, to win the championship, so he can be recognized as the greatest coach. So there's a lot of selfishness in this sign of Jupiter. It's about individual benefit. It's about individual wisdom. It's about individual knowledge. They want to gain knowledge for themselves. And if they preach, they want to preach to be for their own benefit. Like if it's a priest who's teaching, and this is something you can actually will know from here on out, if somebody has Jupiter in the sign of Aries and they're preachers, they're preaching for their own self benefit. Internally, unless you look at the entire horoscope, but if you're just judging by Jupiter itself in Aries, it's somebody who's preaching out there to benefit their own self more than others. But in the end, Jupiter is a benefic planet, and in the end, he ends up motivating others too. So you see, there's a balance of power here with Jupiter. Even though Aries is saying that I'm a tamasic sign, I'm a negative sign, and I want me. Jupiter says, okay, I am here in this house of Aries, and I have to look out for myself here. But my true nature is benefic. My true nature is about giving knowledge. So fine. God wants me to, the universe wants me as Jupiter to gain knowledge for myself, but I'll end up preaching other people anyway. I'll end up motivating people other anyway. So that's what happens when Jupiter comes in the sign of Aries. Now, since Aries represents the individual, the self, it's about your body, yourself. It's about taking self-action, and Jupiter represents knowledge. What this shows that these people will most likely will try to gain knowledge of the self and things regarding to the self, meaning that they will be one of those nutritionists, how to eat better, how to take better care of themselves. So Jupiter, because Jupiter's nature is about knowledge, gaining knowledge. So for their own body, they will try to gain that knowledge. They can go into biology, because Jupiter also represents biology. So for their own interest, because something happened to them or there's something happened to their family member, so they take it upon themselves to learn about those things. So if Jupiter is in the ascendant in Aries or 5th or 9th house, it shows somebody who can go into the medical or scientific studies, or especially nutrition and for their own body. If Jupiter is in like the 3rd house or 6th house and 10th house, it can show things like somebody who wants to learn about motivating others and motivating self. They want to motivate the public. They want to motivate through their speech other people, and through that they want to, again, but it'll always be about self-benefit. But again, self-benefit doesn't mean that you're such a selfish person that no, this is just me and you're not going to get anything, just give it all to me. No, because Jupiter here wants to gain knowledge for the self because it's the nature of Aries, but at the end, Jupiter wants to give that out as well, because that is the original nature of Jupiter. He wants to teach. He wants to preach. So they will always becoming these motivational speakers. They will always end up being these coaches in sports. They will always, if they're executive, they'll be the one to lift everybody. Come on, let's do it. They'll be the one who put all these challenges to their employees. Like, okay, if you close 10 loans today, I'm going to take you to $150 steak lunch. So whoever does it, I'm going to do it today. They're very competitive. They're always about competition. Even the knowledge is about competition. How to gain access over others. So another thing that can represents knowledge of secrecy, knowledge or secrecy in military, because sign of Aries also represents a military environment because it's ruled by Mars. So here, the intelligence, like in Central Intelligence, CIA. So person with this in the ascendant, okay, in the ascendant 8th house, 10th house, can certainly be somebody who works for CIA to gain knowledge about the other country, to gain knowledge what's happening with the terrorists and all that. so that it can also represent those kind of knowledge. But it's again always with the self, but Jupiter will give it out. All right. So guys, this is my analysis of Jupiter and the sign of Aries. If you're new to my channel, subscribe below. And if you want to know where your Jupiter's placed and if there's any conjunction with Jupiter, check out my books, Astrology, the Speed of Light, and Conjunctions at the Speed of Light, at the link below. And when you get the book, I will send you the link to look at your own chart. Just make sure to follow the directions on the page. Otherwise, we'll see you tomorrow with either Jupiter and Taurus or my other 3 videos that I need to do this week. And if I do that, then we'll start with Jupiter and Taurus for Monday. Bye-bye.